Hello everybody, it's Jeremy from previously Jeremy's World. Renamed the channel the Utopians. This is the second installment of that channel and the series that is going to be ongoing. First of all, let me explain a few things. In the past I've filmed basically, from a narrator's point of view, my gardening attempts here and successes, and I've really learned a lot from that. I want to be able to expand this knowledge in the future, in the near future. But let me tell you what's going on for us. So we bought our home 5 years ago. We're here in Sebring, Florida, in Central Florida, and Floridians by nature, Karen and I. Karen is my better half, and hopefully she'll join me on some of these videos in the future and give you a little insight to our lives as a couple. And basically, here's the story. We're selling our home. We're buying a retired school bus. We're converting it to an off-grid RV, and with all the necessities you need, full kitchen and bathroom and bedroom and living space and all the technology that is needed to make videos and publish them, and hopefully get followers and subscribers, and possibly open up a Patreon account so we can get support of the community. But more importantly than that, let me tell you why I named the channel Utopians. I believe in utopia. I believe it's not a myth, it's possible, and unfortunately in this society people have really gotten away from themselves and have sort of pulled away from the rhythm of nature and feel like it's necessary to basically become an interference to human nature especially, and to the nature of the planet. And it goes all the way down the line, from farming techniques and how people produce food and rows, and it's complete chaos. It may seem organized, but it's chaotic in the big sense of things. If you walk out in the forest, you don't see that kind of competition, that kind of structure. It's very erratic, and most people would call that chaos. But if you look deeper, it's very organized, and it takes care of itself and it nurtures itself. And so, being a utopian, basically you're supposed to understand that you flow with nature instead of being a nuisance to yourself and to nature. And so we're selling our home. We're gonna convert a school bus into a off-grid RV and go boondocking and making things as cheap and as free as possible while we're having adventures. And we're gonna seek out some land to expand on this food growing escapade that I'm on for the past couple of years, and really make sense of it and make sense of our own lives, pulling away from society long enough to understand that we don't need to be dependent on society or government handouts or anything like that. We can thrive purely with instinct and following the rhythm of nature and being resourceful and seeking out alliances that will help us instead of hurt us. Because living this way in a home with electrical lines coming through the yard, and cable and Wi-Fi and all these technological advances is great. I mean, it feels really nice to have that kind of comfort, but to be able to provide that kind of comfort for yourself in a sustainable way without depending on a grid, without depending on a 9-to-5 job or career or part-time work or whatever that it may be. If you're healthy enough, you might as well take the plunge while you can. We're both 40 years old, and time in life is short. You never know what could happen in the next hour or tomorrow. This is why I don't wear a watch, because time is sort of one of those illusions that we allow to dictate our lives, along with societal conforming and things like that. So we're taking a different approach, and a lot of people are doing this nowadays, and it's becoming more popular to sustain yourself and give something back, and instead of always taking from nature, you're adding to nature, you're helping the earth, you're building the soil, you aren't putting chemicals and stuff on everything, and you can learn how to create your own products to keep you clean and to keep you healthy, and you don't need to shop in a supermarket for all these chemically laced things. You can produce natural soaps like we've been doing. You can produce organic food very easily and cheap, and you know, I think it's really sad that we're led to believe that you need to be sort of a cog in a wheel to have a successful life. Instead of being a cog of a wheel, we want to have our own engine and our own wheels and sort of just go. And there's a lot of instability in that, some may say, but I think stability is a personal thing, and to be able to travel across the country and, you know, see places that most people dream of seeing, or have to take a vacation and step away from their mundane lives long enough to be able to enjoy it, and probably don't even enjoy it because they don't have time. They're always worried about a schedule, or, you know, the house back home, is it burning down, is it this, is it that. So we're going to take our home with us like snails or hermit crabs, and just move slow and take it all in, and experience life as it was intended to be experienced, and eventually, you know, settle down again and put our roots out, but let our roots spread, and maybe not just focus on one place. Maybe, who knows, get a little chunk of land in a few different states, maybe even out of the country in a couple places, and, you know, we'll do what we can with the resources we have. They're limited, you know. I don't have a silver spoon hanging out of my mouth. I don't have a trust fund or anything like that. I'm educated, and I'm skilled enough to, you know, work in many different arenas, photography being one of them. Karen, my partner, she's a teacher, and she's great at it. She's been doing it almost a decade now, and she's tenured and everything, but we're done trying to keep up with the Joneses, and we want to go explore and experience life for ourselves instead of dictated by conforming to a certain way. I guess, I don't know, it's kind of a rant to talk like this, and a lot of people will just stick up their nose or frown at it, but I believe freedom and liberty and sovereignty is like the number one thing that you can do for yourself in life, and there's no better time than now to start. So that being said, welcome to the first of many videos where I'll try to put myself on camera and give you a little insight into who I am as a person. My partner as well. Hopefully she'll sort of put away her makeup long enough to understand that she's beautiful inside and out in every way, and doesn't need that stuff. But I understand, you know, everybody feels good when they look good, and so I'll do my best to get her on camera soon and take you through the adventure of building an off-grid school bus, and taking you on the road with us and sharing our experiences and our adventures with you. Hopefully you'll be inspired to do the same thing, or share this with your friends. And please subscribe, you know, please hit the like button, comment. Everybody says it, but it really helps a lot to know that people are watching, and that we're being an inspiration. And if we can learn anything from you, that would be great. I'd love to be able to teach a few things too in my own knowledge. I've got a bunch of useless information up here that you need to process and make something out of. So thanks for joining me on this video, this little introduction to what used to be Jeremy's world is now my little utopia, our little utopia. I should have made the sign to say our little utopia. So yeah, we're the Utopians. I'm Jeremy. Karen's at work right now, and pretty soon neither one of us are gonna have jobs. Job is journey of boredom, and Instead, we want to have a career of living to live instead of working to live or paying to live. We want to be just living. So, living well, here in my little food setup, growing pretty much everything that I could possibly eat, but we may not be able to eat this harvest this year because we're selling our home, and whoever buys the house gets the garden with it. Hopefully they'll enjoy it. I'll leave instructions on how to keep it going. It's very simple, and keep following. There's a lot of really great stuff on the horizon for us, and I'd love to share it with you guys, and thanks for watching. Peace.